Okay, so y'all know I like to talk to you guys about the spiritual things that are happening. This is very creepy. It's very weird, but I like to share it. Okay, so after the first one that I told you guys about at 3:33, it's 7:40 right now. I've been up probably for about 10 or 15 minutes. So 7:30 was the next one. There was something about someone releasing me, or me have I took a next step in the spirit realm to where I had left someone. I don't know specifically. It's a little cloudy, but what I can remember is that I went into I think it was something about a black man before this, but I don't really remember. But I went into a Chinese woman's shop. A Chinese woman's shop, and it was like it was a nail shop. And I remember looking for her. I remember going into the nail shop, and I asked her for some food because she had food in the nail shop. So I came in there and I was like, I want to buy some of that food that you got. And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, you don't even, how do I even know that this woman even have food in her nail shop? Like, who ever heard of a candy lady nail technician that have candy and snacks all in her nail shop? So I saw some people in the back of her nail shop when I was leaving, but before that happened, she pulled out a whole bunch of cake, chocolate cake, all kind of snacks, like, and it was in the big old pack, like, like the whole pack of it. And it was Oreo cookies, soft Oreo cookies, like, then it was like the little brownies with the white in the middle of it. And she was younger, like, I think she was like in her 30s, or but she was still like youthful. And then she had, I think, the straight hair, dark hair, and she pulled out all the snacks for me and put them out on the nail technician thing. And then I picked what I wanted out of it. And then she got on the phone and made a phone call. And then I left up out of there. So and there was another woman in there. And then when I was leaving out, because I seen like all the snacks and stuff, I noticed they had snacks in the back. And there was people in the back, like workers, and they looked kind of, young, and there was a bunch of them, like a sweatshop or something. But I don't know what they were doing back there. And then so I came out, and I was like writing, I know I was writing songs or something in this neighborhood. And it was something specific about my songs, because like one song was like a diss song. And I mean, then I had other types of songs too. And I flipped the page and I was going through this park. And I had been dealing with I had been dealing with a young black male, and I had gone through this park. And when I didn't go through, like, we wanted to go back through the park, but then they had put blocks up outside of the park, where you couldn't drive through it, anymore, because it used to be the type of park where you can drive your car through this park. But when we went to drive up through it, we couldn't, and they had put up these little big old metal poles in front of it. And so the black man was like, what's up with that? And I was like, I don't know, maybe they doing some work in the park, and it'll be dangerous if you drive through it. You know what I'm saying? And so I ended up walking down the street, on my own. And he had gone somewhere. And I recall being like a spectacle to people, to where some of my songs that I had wrote, one of them was very like vicious, and then some of the other ones were, they were very good songs, and every time I looked at the lyrics, I could hear me singing them and rapping them, and it was as if it was like on the radio, but not really, but like on the CD or something, like I was listening to them. And then there was like a Chinese man or something like in the front of the neighborhood, and it was like he was guarding the neighborhood, like if you walk down the street or something and he see you, like he report everything or something. And so and like he would come out there too. And so I was still like in the house, like in that little area where I was at, and I had saw myself with very long weave, dark long weave, and it went all the way down my back, like way to my butt, and like past my butt, and it was dark. And I was suddenly like in a video, but it was just me, and I didn't really see a set or anything. I just seen like a little white wall or something white, like tan or something behind me, but I didn't really see nothing else. And then I started like I was lip singing, but I was like going hard, like, and then something was like, oh, don't go too hard because you're gonna mess up your bundles. And I had seen my weave like getting a little bit messed up because I was too rowdy. And then I had smoothed it back down, and I started kind of going soft or whatever. And then it was saying something like I was like Nicki Minaj. And then showing me like with some of the same like delivery as Nicki Minaj. Then after that, I had went into this room where I was trying to do my hair, and I could see like the park, like it was almost like the room was outside too a little bit. And then I had these tracks in my head, and I kept trying to put the track. I think they was like magnetic tracks or whatever, and I kept trying to put the tracks, reposition the tracks back in my hair, and I had been using them tracks for a very long time, and they were long, but the braids was through, the tracks was through, it was just through. And this black girl was watching me, and I was working on music at the same time, or listening to it, or it was going through my head while I was doing these tracks. And this young black man, it's like he was waiting on me. And then it's like there was some animosity against me and some anticipation for something. And so then there was a young black girl. She was in she was in the bedroom, and she had brought a client in there, and she was seemingly like my friend at first. Like it seemed like she was giving me advice, like she was cool with me. And then she brought this black girl, because I was doing my hair and working on songs, and she had brought this black girl. I was trying to go to the store because I was trying to get me something to eat or whatever I was trying to do, but I was trying to go to the store. And she had a client, and she was doing the client's hair in the bedroom. She was a brown skinned sister, like young, and she had brought a brown skinned client, and I believe she was darker than her client, and she braided her hair like in a neat way that I've never really seen anybody do it like that. So it was more so, it was kind of professional as far as the new technique goes, but it's not like she really took her time to actually braid it very nice and neat, but it was unique, the technique that she was using, and I hadn't really seen that before. And I think she was using a little cap or whatever, and she was sewing the girls. I don't know. I believe she was sewing her hair. I thought she was sewing the girl hair. And so I was like, okay, well, watching her do her hair, and then my tracks would not stay glued in. Like every time I tried to put the track back up, it wasn't as if I put any glue on there, but I was just doing it as if it was just supposed to stay up there. And then they just kept falling down, and then the whole thing just started falling down. It was like little bitty tracks put together into one big track, and it just kept falling down. And then my hair was real poofy underneath it, and I could have made it work or whatever, but it just was like I got frustrated, and I was just like and I just started taking them all out, like it's time to get it redone. And then so the black girl was like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "I'm taking these tricks up out of my head. Like I'm taking all of them out, and I'm gonna get my hair redone. I'm gonna just redo the whole thing." And she was like, "Oh, well, why you doing that?" It was almost like she was mad, like she didn't want me to get my hair redone, like she wanted me to keep on trying to reuse the same old tracks. And then I really was looking a hot mess. And then I had oh yeah, I had ordered like a whole bunch of bundles or whatever, or I had went to the store and got the bundles, but I believe I ordered them. And I had looked in the dresser drawer in the room where she was at, and I looked in the dresser drawer, and I looked down, and I saw like some 2 packs of long bundles. And then I was like, "Oh, well, that's not is that enough 2 packs?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah," I ordered some more. And then I opened up the second drawer that was on top of that, and I had a whole bag of bundles. It was the same kind of hair, and it was real long and pretty. And then it was like how many of it? It was like 2 or 3 more packs. And I was like, "Am I gonna actually need this many packs of bundles for my hair?" And then something was like, "Well, perhaps the bundles get thinner as because it's so long, and the wefts might be thinner, and you might actually need more packs of hair because your hair is so long that it might require for you to have more packs." And then I thought about Nicki Minaj and her hair, and I'm like, do she use that many bundles on her hair? That's what I was thinking, like, like because I know some people who wore their hair that long before, and I was like, do they use, like, would that be normal to use that many bundles? And then something was like, perhaps the wefts are thinner, or because it's longer, it might require you to need more bundles. Because maybe how it is when it's longer versus when it's shorter. And I was like, okay. And then so I had gotten all the old tracks out of my head, and I had asked the girl. She was over there doing somebody's hair, and I thought she was sorting their hair. And then I asked her, I was like, "Do you have a needle and thread? I need a needle and thread." And she was like, "Oh no, I don't got no needle and thread." But then I was thinking like, "Oh, I got one, or I can go and get one." And then I had went in the bathroom, and when I went in the bathroom, um, my hair had fell down, like my hair. It wasn't like weave or anything, and it was like the length of what my hair was like when I first got out the jail. But it was very straight. And then it was like down to here, and I pulled it up in a little ponytail. Like, I didn't try to brush it up in a ponytail, or it was very straight. I didn't try to brush it up or put it in a real neat ponytail. I just took 2 rubber bands and then just put it in a ponytail, and it felt like a white girl's hair would if she just hurry up and put her hair in a little ponytail. That's how my hair was. And something said, "I'm somebody's wife." And then I had a little like shirt on. It was like a shirt, but it was kind of thick, like a jacket. and it was red and black and plaid. It was burgundy, like the burgundy orange color, black and plaid. And then it was like something as if someone had taken me through some gang initiations. But I'm not in a gang. But this was like the aura that was over me. And then I was thinking about going down the street and not wanting to nobody to make a spectacle of me, and specifically this a Chinese man or something. There was also something about a little white girl who was blonde, um, and something I don't know if it's something about her being afraid, but I don't remember much about it. And then there was a white woman, and the white woman had she was advertising, oh, you can come over my house and spend the night and we can have Bible study. And there was food at the door and a chair, and there was the Bible. And then so something was like, no, I declined. And I still was there, but declining. And she had the Bible in her hand, and she was smiling all nice. And she had blonde hair that came to about right here in a little t-shirt. She looked very homely, like that was her house. And it was like I wasn't actually like in the house. I was like right by the door and some stairs. And they had stairs that go up, and there was wooden stairs, and then it had some stairs that go down, like maybe to a den, and then some stairs that go up to like a living room, and it was like the little bitty foyer right there, I guess. Just very small little space where she was trying to have the Bible study. And then I was there, but I was declining, like, I was like, no, I'm good, but she had the Bible, and it was like kind of orange kind of color, and she opened it up, and something was like, she don't need you to teach her. Like I don't need you to. I don't. It was like saying that I didn't need her to teach me, and then and then it opened. She opened the Bible, and when she opened it, she turned into a witch, and her and the Bible that was in her hand had turned into a spell book, and it turned into a hardback spell book and it was the same color, but the Bible that she had in her hand was a soft cover at first, but then when she opened it, it turned into a hard cover, the same color, but a cartoon, like, and she turned into one of them witches like on the cartoons where you see them real old and white with the long white hair and the pimple on their nose. But she didn't have, I didn't see her face though. Like after that, it just showed me her hair, and it turned white, and she had on a black cloak. And the Bible was also a cartoon. It turned into a cartoon, and then there was a crystal ball on top of the Bible, and it was just like in the cartoon in the movies when you see the old wicked white witch with the crystal ball glowing and the spell book in her hand and the black cloak, and that's what it was. And then something was like, the Bible is not the same in her hands. That it was something different about when I have the Bible versus when she has the Bible, and that I did not need her to teach me, and that she was a witch. And so, but she was trying to teach me the Bible, like I needed to come over and have Bible study with her, and something was like, she don't need you to teach her, and it was like emphasis on the fact that the Bible was not the same in her hand as it was in my hand, because she'll be trying to cast spells over you when she got the Bible, versus when I have the Bible. And so after that, I remember like I was back in the house where all of this stuff was happening with the tracks, or before, at some point all of this went on. And then there was a picture, like there was a white, it looked like it was like a white wall or something. And then it had a picture of me at the very top, and I was like the only one on the wall, like I guess like a Hall of Fame or something. And then, you know, them old Victorian pictures that go like this. It's like an oval shape. It was a big old, it wasn't real big, but it was like the size of a mirror. Like, you know, just enough to put a picture of your face. And it was at the top of the wall, at the very top. And there was nobody else on this wall but this picture of me. And it was in like the outside of the picture was like white, like to match the wall, but to where you could tell that there was a frame. And it was very nicely done. It was a very nice frame. And then I was dressed very promptly. Like, have you ever seen people that you might say like, who's in, like, oh, bring my tea, you know, like, yes, like Victoria. Like, that's how I was, you know, like, that's how I was, you know, acting on, like, on the picture. And I had like Goldilocks, like it was like I had a wig on my head. And it was like the picture was in black and white, but you could still see like the color of my hair. And I had on like a wig, like it reminds me a little bit of like Dorothy off of the Wizard of Oz. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Wherever a wizard was, wherever the wizard was. And the lion that was with her, how he I seen one version of him where he had some big old curls, and my hair was kind of like that, but it was almost like it was braided, and it was blonde, and it had like those little Goldilocks spiral curls, and then like some in the front of my face, and it looked very like old and Victorian, you know, like like, you know, the forefathers used to just pop them wigs on their head. It was like a type of wig that you just like sit on the top of your head. Like, it wasn't like you, like a type of wig that you think you like put on like really precisely. It was like a hat wig. Like it was, yeah, like a hair hat, but it was like blonde, and it had the little curls on it, and my skin was black and white, but you could still, and the hair was kind of black and white, but you could still see a hue of the fact that the hair was blonde. And I had on something like queenly, you know, and I was up there on this wall by myself, and then the picture was of me, and I was, you know, like the pose was crazy, y'all. And then something said, I'm Illuminati, and I was like, what the hell? Or it said they think I'm Illuminati, but it was almost like it said I'm Illuminati, and I was at the top like a queen, or like the queen. And then I was like, and after that, I woke up. I know that's crazy, right? But y'all know I tell y'all about everything. And there's somebody in here too. And I know he probably like, if he don't hear, I know he probably like, what the hell? But yeah. So, oh. And then, I seen, when I said that, it was almost as if it was in the song. And then I seen somebody that looked like Quavo off of the what them boys called, the Migos. And he had on a real suave, like he had his hair done to the side, some glasses. He was walking down the street and he had on a real suave two-piece suit outfit, and it had flowers on one side, like flower design, but it wasn't like the flower, it was like the, what do you call the it was like the root of the flower. Root. It was like the roots of a plant or a flower. And he had it over like this side, like over his heart. And it was turquoise. At first it looked like it was baby blue, but then it was turquoise. And the rest of the suit was black. And then he had some pants to go with it, and the pants was black. And he had, I don't think he had no shirt on like underneath, but it was fitted to where it only showed a little bit of the chest. And then he was walking down the street, and he was looking suave. And it was dark like on the street, and he had some glasses on, and his dreads was done very, very tight and nicely all the way to one side of his head that was on one side. And then some of them was hanging down like in the front. And there was other people, but I can't remember them. And they had on baby blue. And I was like, do they got on baby blue because they know what's going on? You know, but there was no clarity for me on that. So I know that was kind of weird or whatever, but yeah. I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I need to eat my breakfast and I got a lot that I need to do. And I prayed to God last night. So before I went to sleep, I was talking to God and I was like, God, you know, there's a lot of pastors who keep talking about they want me to forgive and, you know, and let go of this. And, you know, they teach you that in their sermons or whatever, but it felt, I don't feel that way in my heart, you know. I don't feel the need. I have already forgiven people, but if the Lord have executed a certain judgment on someone, and if God says that Austin John Matter is going to jail for hurting me, then I move with the Spirit, you know, and I believe what God has said. And he said Austin John Matter is going to jail for hurting me in my apartment, hurting me in my community. And it's like people want me to forgive him and just let it go. It's not that I haven't forgiven him, because I have forgiven him, but God has spoken and God has executed judgment on him. And there's a deeper reason for it. He attacked another woman while I was in jail. And even if he didn't, he look at all that we have had to go through because he was being violent with us. Y'all was not there while he was attacking me like a ram, like a wild animal. He needs to go to jail, and God knows this, and I know this, and it's not about not forgiving him. It's not about holding on to anything. You know, it's about righteousness, you know, and he's going. So, people want to let so much time go by from when the situation happened to think, oh, well, you know, it's been so long ago, just let it go. You just rambling, just forgive. No. Because y'all not operating in the Holy Spirit. You're going against the judgment of God. God said that he needs to go. So ain't no y'all gonna come together as human beings and feel like you going to go against the judgment of the Most High, because God knows the heart and thoughts of every man, and he knows that Austin is not in a position to where he does not need to go. He needs to go. And God does care about me enough to where he put me through a lot, and he said he's going to learn a lot of lessons in jail. So people are going against God by trying to think that you're going to go against me And the fact that I'm pressing charges on him about the fact that I had to shoot him. I had to shoot this man, and I was not guilty. So if someone had to go to the length of having to shoot someone to protect themselves and their kids, ain't no reason why he should be walking out here free just because he got shot. Because he got shot, he needs to go sit down in jail for a while and think about his actions that he caused himself to get hurt like that. He caused himself to get hurt like that. I ain't finna just be going up and running up on nobody with their kids. I know better than that. And if I got hurt, the only person to blame would be myself. And everybody knows that if I went up running up on some white woman and her little 22-month-old baby, and she was pregnant, and she pulled out a gun and shot me in the leg, everybody be in there, well, you knew better than that. You know not to be attacking no white woman, and you know not to be attacking her baby, and you know not to be attacking her and she pregnant, and you brought it upon yourself. And that I damn sure would have went to jail for a long time. They probably wouldn't have even let me go to the hospital to get no treatment for the bullet. Hell, they'd have let your black ass die. But because I'm black, and because my little boy have black in him, me and my children don't get the same treatment in this country. Ain't no I don't forgive him. I do. But God said he going. And I believe it and I receive it. Because that's what's going to make it better. Because I'm black. And if I was a white woman, he'd have been going to jail. But because I'm black, you think that it's not right to lock him up? You think I'm supposed to sit around with that in my heart knowing that I hadn't seen my son for 2 years? I had to shoot a gun. I ain't never shot a gun a day in my life. I ain't never shed nobody's blood a day in my life. That hurt me. To have to hurt somebody else. Knowing that I hurt somebody else. Knowing that I shot a gun. You know how scared I was? Because I shot somebody. I was scared to death almost. And God had to let me know he understand why I did it. Because he was hurting me and my baby. But anyway, so I'm going to eat my breakfast. And I don't feel like I need to go back and forth with the people that feel like, oh, stay away from Cynthia O'Vera's son. No, Cynthia got my son, and she wrong for trying to keep me from my son. That's what God said. And we'll go into that a whole nother time. But because he's white, people think he don't need to go to jail. Oh, no. If a white woman had to shoot a black man for attacking her 22-month-old son, he would be in jail by now. He would be in prison for a very long time. And God don't operate off of, oh, I'm not going to do right by Andrea because Andrea is black. And I'm going to let Austin get away with whatever he wants because he white. Unfortunately, God is not like humans. And he said he going. And I'm going to get my justice. And I'm going to get my vindication. But yeah, so that's it. And I'm going to eat my breakfast.